So I'm making this video for three friends of mine. To protect the innocent, we'll say JM and CJ and another JM. So you guys have made decisions in your life and things are leading you in a particular direction, and I'm here to provide this video for you in which I'm going to give you the gift of 3 short 4 to 7 word very powerful prayers that you can use in your daily lives if you were to choose to do that. So I'll tell you how I came upon the first prayer. I was 17. I took 4 people, myself included, to the Natural Bridge State Park in the eastern part of the state of Kentucky. And we hiked and spent the night on a mountaintop out in the park area there. It was at the top of a 60-foot peak, a 60-foot scaled rock wall. And the rock wall access was 40-foot area where we came up from the side and then climbed the last 20 feet up. So after a rainstorm that night, I had climbed down. I was the first one down, and I had made it to the 3-foot ledge about 20 feet below the top of the rock and below the top of the peak. And as I looked up, I had my backpack on, and I saw one of my high school friends coming down the mountain, stepping backwards, trying to bring himself up the slope, but he was sliding continuously down, and he rolled over on his stomach and started falling the last bit of the 20 feet towards me. And what I did at the time was I stepped to the feet. I stepped 2 feet to the left and allowed him to come and hit the ledge that I was on, and I reached out to try to grab him from that point, and he continued to go. And as I saw him sliding over the edge of the next 40-foot cliff below, he was grasping for a small twig that was about 6 inches long and was in no way going to ever prevent him from falling over that cliff. And so the look on his face at that moment, it's forever in my memory. And when I yelled, "Are you okay?" from the top, there was no answer. So I went down to the scale down around to the bottom of the cliff, and I found my friend lying 5 feet away from the jagged rocks and between 2 pine trees, and 2 large pine trees had broken his fall all the way down, and all of the contents of his backpack were scattered all over the place. It was a miraculous thing for him, in that it saved his life. And I asked him, the first thing I asked him was, well, what did you have on your mind when you grasped for that twig and it didn't hold you and you started over the edge of the cliff? And he said, "God, protect me from evil." Those were the 4 words that he said. And I began to think about that. That was the most powerful prayer in that kind of a moment that he put to good benefit for himself. And I used that prayer myself from 76 to 90, and I had a good life because of it. Very simple prayer: God, protect me from evil. And I would suggest that you guys use that prayer for every hour or so until you can put your lives in a condition where things are maybe a little bit more to your liking. So that may take 5 years or so, but it's worth incorporating that prayer into your daily routine as many times as possible, and God will protect you if you ask for His protection. If you don't ask for His protection, He's not going to protect you at all. He won't won't provide it only by circumstance. Second prayer is 4 words long. I was 46 years old when it was taught to me, and I couldn't believe, that I had lived basically all of my life and had not heard of this prayer or the power that it has behind it. So this prayer is, "The Lord rebuke thee." And if you want to research it, you will find it in the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 9. "The Lord rebuke thee." In the Catholic version of that prayer is, "The Lord rebuke you." But it's a very powerful prayer. It works in the spirit realm. It works beyond the veil. It works in the three-dimensional world that we live in. That's the prayer that Michael, the archangel, used against Satan. And it will work for you as well against all of the demonic forces that you find in your life if you will take it to heart, incorporate it into your daily routine. This prayer works against demonic forces. It works against the 9-foot-tall werewolves. It works against reptilians. It works against the grays. It works against the ones that don't take physical form. The crystal clear voice that you hear 3 feet behind your left ear, the little voice in your head. It works against all of those things. And I live in the state of Kentucky. In the three-dimensional world, it has worked for me effectively twice to change the path of a tornado, possibly 3 times, depending on the circumstances. How you look at it. So you say, "No way, this guy's lying to me." And what I'll say in return to that is, you adopt that prayer, adopt it into your daily routine, and see for yourself whether it works or not, because it's very effective and very powerful. When you choose to take drugs, methamphetamines, and heroin, you are seeking a spiritual experience. You're seeking to step beyond the veil. There are easier ways to do that, less painful ways, such as sorcery. Both sorcery and pharmacopoeia are forbidden to us. God is not trying to preclude you from some secret knowledge that you're supposed to be finding by traveling into those other worlds. What he's doing is trying to preclude you from being a food source. Because when you go beyond the veil in your present form, you are a food source. You're like the minnow that swims in the ocean where there's large sharks around, and you have no hope of surviving in those kinds of circumstances. And the way that I would suggest that you, if you want to know the truth of that, look at your own lives. Look at your loss of health of your bodily organs. Look at your loss of you're losing your teeth, and you're walking with the walk of the Mick Jagger jerky drug addiction kind of walk. And those should be a lesson to you that you should be adopting the left-hand path in the manner that you adopt. So I would say that you're seeking something. You have a grasp, but there's something there that you're not aware of. But what you're seeking to find, it isn't going to be told to you in truthful terms on the other side of the veil. You're going to end up meeting your demise, and at a young age, which I hate to see that, but that's what it is. Hey. So the third prayer that I want to tell you about is a 7-word prayer. You will find it in 2 John 1, verse 7, and that prayer is, Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. And the way that you will use that prayer is that you will test any spiritual force, a demonic force, test which side of the line that he is on by asking him if he can repeat that statement. And you'll find that on the demonic side, they will not repeat that statement, because they know the truth of it. And we're humans are stupid. We don't know these things that well, but those forces are well aware, and they're not going to say that. So if you will ask that of any one of those entities that you come in contact with or channel, or by whatever means you're seeking, you can use that prayer. It doesn't work so well against humans because they can still lie to you. They still are, some of them in some cases, unaware of the truth, and in some cases they're willing to lie because they still have free will and they haven't come under the judgment yet. So study up on these things, read your Bible, learn the truth behind them, put those into practice in your own life, then you'll find that they are true, and that you can make some improvement in your own life this way. The world has been divided into two groups of people, and there are those of us who walk the left-hand path, and those of us who are not on that same path. So if you want to know the very cutting edge of that division line is the King James Bible, and the sharp point of the edge is that statement. It's given to you in the Bible for you to test the spirits and to make your way by. And with the things that are going on in your life, I would offer up to you that when you decide to change them, you can use those prayers to bring yourself back to the state that you want to be in. No one's going to do it for you. Your friends are not going to do it for you. Your parents are not going to do it for you. We're all bystanders in this, and you all make your own choices. So we hope that you will make better decisions going forward. We hope that you will rejoin us on the other side of the line, that you take the other path. We know that you can do it, and we also know that it isn't going to happen until you make those decisions. So if there is ever anything that I can do to help you in that regard, let me know. I will help you out.